Silver is actually too cheap to be faked. Yes, it can. Almost anything can be faked. A Rembrandt can be faked. There was a time in the early 80s, or actually the late 70s, when silver really caught on, where some of the 100-ounce bars were drilled and filled. And this is where you actually drill out a large diameter hole 2 or 3 times in a 100-ounce bar, as an example, fill it with lead, and then cap off the hole with silver again. Lead's weight and silver's weight are close, and if you do it right, the weight will come out correctly. But you can determine that very easily. All you have to do is actually do an acoustic test. The old song, Silver Bells, I don't know if you're familiar with that in Germany or not, but silver actually has unique properties. It's the most reflective, it's the most heat conductive, and it's also got some acoustic qualities that are different than other metals. So you can actually tap it and hear if it rings. If it doesn't ring like silver, it's got something else in it. Silver coins, I'm sure there's been some. I mean, the old, silver was money throughout the world. Gold coins were clipped at the edges, so were silver coins, but that's not really faking anything. So gold has been faked far more often. I'll tell you one that most people don't know, and I'm going to go to gold. One of the areas that gold is faked the most often is in the rare coin world, because if you are of that bent, you can take a rare gold coin, you can actually mint it, and you can now put it in one of these slabs where it's been verified by a third party, and you fake the whole thing. You fake the coin, you fake the slab, you fake the number and everything else, and sell, what's a 1 ounce worth of gold, or usually less, and it's a $14,000 coin. So if you're buying gold for $1,400, and there's time, labor, effort, and everything else involved in this, crooked scheme, but you make, 10 or 20 of those, or 100 of them, and put them out in the market through various ways. I mean, eBay is an example. I'm not trying to bash eBay. All I'm saying is, does it happen? Yes, it does happen. Where does it happen the most often? That's where it happens the most often. Does silver go through those similar type of things? Very seldom. Does it exist? Yes. It's very, very, very small. I don't want to upset or worry anybody. 1,000-ounce bars of silver, it's almost impossible to fake those. I mean, when I've sold thousands in the 80s, when I had 1,000-ounce bars back then, I walked into one of the major coin dealers in Los Angeles, and it took him about 5 minutes. He took a tape measure, he went around the bar, measured it, and they went in the back and dropped it in his bathtub that was there for this sole purpose, and they found out how many milliliters of water it displaced. And every element on the periodic chart has a specific gravity. So if it's pure silver, it's going to displace exactly a certain amount of water because it has an exact specific gravity. If there's anything else in there, it would do something different. So it's about a 5-minute test. He came back and he paid me cash for the silver bar. A lot of people go through these extensive processes of drilling out the bar and doing chemical tests and stuff like that. But it's basically nonsense. You don't have to. You can do the process I just outlined with the milliliter test. You can ring it, you can tap it with another piece of metal, and you're on your way. 1,000-ounce bars, don't see that happening in silver. Gold, another story. There is a video on YouTube about these tungsten bars that are gold-plated, and if you do it right, they come out exact weight, and they'll even pass a drill test if they drill slightly, because gold is more valuable than silver, and I readily admit that. And so they usually don't drill all the way through the bar, they just drill into it deep enough to get a good sample of gold. So, I think that some of that does exist based on, what I've looked at and been able to see. It's, like I said, there's actually a YouTube movie showing these tungsten-filled gold bars. So usually it's on the gold side. Usually on the silver side, you don't see any, for any practical purpose, you don't see any.